Hey guys, my name is Elena,
And I'm Aida.
and the movie we watched was The Bridge on the River Kwai.
William Holden, who stars as Shears, plays an American Navy officer who was captured by the Japanese after his ship, the Houston, got shipwrecked. Later in the movie, we end up finding out that he was only a private, but he decided to impersonate an officer to receive the higher benefits when captured as a prisoner of war. Colonel Sato, played by Sasuke Koya, is a Japanese colonel of the prisoner camp. His character stereotypes the intensity and unreasonableness of the Japanese. Colonel Nicholson, played by Alec Guinness, was the commander of the defeated British battalion that was brought to the prisoner camp. His character stereotypes the absurdity and excessive pride. In addition, his character is the only one based on a real person, Lieutenant Colonel Philip Toucey. Jack Hawkins plays Major Warden, the British officer in charge of Force 316, a guerrilla commandos part of the British Army. He leads the expedition to the bridge on the River Kwai in order to destroy it.
The movie is based on the novel Le Pont de la Rivière Kwai, written by Pierre Boulle. Its main setting is the prisoner of war camp in Thailand. However, there is a short scene at the British intelligence headquarters in Sri Lanka, which was known as Ceylon before the year of 1948. The movie spans between the months of January to May of 1943, and it centers on the building of a bridge that was supposed to continue the Burma Railway and connect Bangkok to Rangoon, which is today known as Yangon. The purpose of the bridge and the railway were to provide the Japanese access to British India.
In the movie, a recently defeated British battalion is brought to the prisoner of war camp commanded by Colonel Sato. He tells the troops and officers that they will be working on a bridge over the River Kwai to build it in less than 4 months. Lieutenant Colonel Nicholson informs Sato that according to the Geneva Convention, officers are not to be forced into manual labor. Sato refuses to comply with the codes of the Geneva Convention, and Nicholson refuses to obey Sato's orders to work. And as a result, Sato locks Nicholson in a small hut in the blistering sun, nicknamed the Oven. In an attempt to not aid the enemy and to protest their commander's captivity, the British soldiers work inefficiently as they can without suffering punishment. Sato realizes that the building is progressing very slowly, and as a result, he decides to oversee the bridge himself and release Nicholson from the Oven to discipline his men. Nicholson disregards the fact that the work will aid the enemy and decides to build a very durable bridge in order to embarrass Sato and the Japanese by proving that the British are superior engineers. During this time, Shears manages to escape the prison camp and reaches the British intelligence headquarters. And there he is summoned to the commando school in the Botanical Gardens, where Major Warden asks for his help in destroying the bridge under construction. Shears is assigned to Force 316 and required to aid Warden in destroying the bridge. They manage to reach the bridge despite injuries and various land obstacles. However, before they manage to blow it up, Nicholson, overwhelmed in the pride of the bridge, discovers the explosive Force 316 has rigged and attempts to prevent them from going off. In the end, Warden ends up killing Joyce and Shears, and Nicholson ends up falling in the plunger and detonating the explosive just as the train approaches the bridge, causing the plunge into the river.
As we mentioned before, Colonel Nicholson's character was based on Lieutenant Colonel Philip Toucey. However, Toucey was forced into building the bridge, unlike Nicholson, who willingly built it in order to prove his nation's superiority. The British prisoners of war in reality were ordered to build 2 bridges, a temporary one made of wood and a permanent one made of steel. The wooden bridge was completed in February of 1943 and the steel one in April of that year. The construction of the 2 bridges began the year before, and it wasn't rushed in the movie in which they forced the prisoners to build the bridge in 4 months. Also, the bridges were built over the Mekong River, which was later renamed the Kwai River. And both bridges were destroyed by Allied bombs in 1945 and not in the year of 1943, as the movie portrayed it to be. Also, they were destroyed by aerial bombings and they weren't rigged. and the steel bridge was renovated after the bombing and still exists today. One discrepancy we found was that the movie was not filmed in Thailand along the Kwai River. Instead, it was filmed in Sri Lanka along the Kalani River.
The movie makes fun of military pride and honor by having Colonel Nicholson want to avenge himself so badly that he ends up aiding the enemy. It also makes fun of the Japanese, portraying them as stubborn and uncooperative, and as displayed by Colonel Sato's refusal to comply with the Geneva Convention and determination to build the bridge in 4 months. The American in this movie represents the unwillingness of his people to participate in the war, by being sarcastic throughout the entire movie, starting with his mocking eulogy and ending with his volunteering to display his bridge after being told he had.
Overall, we thought the movie was really interesting, and we really liked it. Shears became our favorite character, so we were sad to see him die at the end, especially since it wasn't fair because all he wanted was to be free, but he was forced into the war. We liked his sarcastic comments and we agreed with a lot of them. We felt that they portrayed the way the American people felt. We liked that the movie further showed how stupid maintaining honor and pride is. One thing that did not meet our expectations was how the prisoner of war camps were portrayed. We thought they would be more strict and more hostile, but the one that was in the movie seemed somewhat friendly or friendlier than we thought a prisoner camp should be.
And thank you for watching our video.